but this is it, man. This is the culmination of ACW since January. Let's go through this a little bit.
Yep.
The first pay-per-view was the Rumble. It was basically to crown the first ever ACW champion.
Yep.
Richard Holliday wins.
Sure.
That main event that night was Nick Nemeth versus Matt Riddle for the TNA Championship, first ever time.
Yep.
First ever time these guys have actually fought each other. Fast forward to the next show. At Aftershock, we have Matt Cardona versus Richard Holliday.
Yep.
Fast forward to Fallout, we have Richard Holliday versus Matt Riddle for the main event.
Sure.
And now, right back to where we kind of like dipped in some of the main events throughout the year, we have the Fatal 4-Way match, Jonathan. Richard Holliday walking in as ACW Heavyweight Champion.
And out.
And out. You go, okay. Versus Matt Cardona versus Nick Nemeth versus Matt Riddle. So all these guys have main evented all year.
Yep.
In some kind of capacity, whether it was against each other or whatnot, right? You put the stars on whoever they fought. So seeing this in a Fatal 4-Way for the ACW Heavyweight Championship, Jonathan, you're saying Richard Holliday is going to walk in there champion and walk out champion. And this is like the greatest odds right now of any champion walking into this, because you're not just walking into any kind of a match. You're walking into a match with like three of the biggest names on the independents right now. Jonathan, this is going down as the biggest independent match of the year.
Yep.
Fans are talking about it all over online. Richard Holliday has mentioned it. Jonathan, right in our backyard, we're having one of the greatest indendent matches of 2025.
As we should.
And, what a year alone for ACW, let alone this show. So if you're going to buy the ticket for one match, I think one moment or one kind of a thing, I feel like this is what people are paying to see. And this is the main event, I feel like, that has been probably the best main event out of everybody this year.
When I said earlier that a lot implications. When I talked about implications, this match has them. Everybody is kind of on their own path right now. You've got Matt Cardona, the indie god, going and wrestling everywhere, right? You've got Matt Riddle, who apparently just got into a little scrape on TMZ with somebody. He's all over the world right now.
Former MLW champion, too.
Former MLW champion. You've got Nick Nemeth, who the man needs no introduction. And you have Richard Holliday.
Former TNA champion from the first show.
Absolutely. So you've got Richard Holliday, who is totally in that league. And, if I'm talking about someone who is going to scrape and claw to keep that title, it's that person. It's it's Richard Holliday. The other gentlemen, they're no slouches. They're people that have absolutely earned everything that they've received in the world of wrestling. But Richard Holliday is ACW, and as we've seen this year, no one's been able to take that belt off of him. We're coming up on 365 days, and we've seen what can happen when someone gets on a hot streak.
Sure.
Roman Reigns was champion for years and years and years. I see Richard Holliday being the Roman Reigns of ACW and being the one that continues this streak throughout 2026, 2027. You keep setting him up, and he's going to keep knocking him down. And that's
sure, fair enough. Yeah. Because when I look at this match as a whole, I feel like Richard Holliday, to me, in this matchup alone, is kind of at the bottom of the totem pole with these guys, and that's no offense, even though it probably seems like it's. But at the end of the day,
I'm offended.
Don't be offended. So you have like Matt Cardona, the belt collector, right, coming off his run from WWE in TNA now in NXT right now, has a match next week in NXT, if you will. So he's working the circuit, if you will, right. So he's all over the place on mainstream level and on the independent level. I feel like Matt Cardona walking out as the ACW champion that night, I feel like is right along with who he is. He's coming in to collect that championship. On the other hand, you have Nick Nemeth, former TNA champion. This guy is probably not the best. I don't want to say the best. The dude's very talented. I mean, we were there
Sure.
you were there when he cashed in for the World Heavyweight Championship many moons ago.
Yep.
But fast forward now, I feel like out of all these guys, he's probably the locker room leader, if you will. This he's the vet out of all of them. I feel like he's walked the walk and talked the talk. So, it's like another vet that I could see walking out ACW champion. And then last but not least, Matt Riddle out of all these guys too, to where, he was an MLW champion, which we just said. He main evented against Nick Nemeth at the first show, to where, didn't come out on top with that one. It was almost ACW champion at Fallout until the reverse decision because the referee was knocked out. So he kind of was the ACW champion for a millisecond.
Not even close.
And not and so on and so forth. So now that all these guys are going to be in the ring at the same time, man, like I feel like there's a valid reason I could see each of these guys, whether it's retaining or becoming the new ACW champion. And I'll go right back to the beginning with this because that's exactly what I love being a fan. Because I don't want to watch or know that this match is happening, and it's like Mr. T versus this dude from it's like, oh, it's obvious Mr. T is gonna. You know what I mean? It's like one of those matches when you see it, I want to go and see who wins because I have no idea. I can't even book it in my head. Like, oh, the Mark's booking their own shows. They get to like if this is gonna happen. I can't book it in my head. I just want to see it. I have to see it kind of a thing. So it has that must-see feel. And that's, I feel like, what I love about how this has culminated to, the last show of the year, the main event of the last show of the year.
Sure.
What can happen? Who knows, right?